Hello and welcome to India Today, NE. Uh, Good afternoon to you all. The
Good
Ministry of
afternoon.
Home Affairs of India announced the scrapping of the free movement regime with Myanmar to ensure the internal security of the country and to maintain the demographic structure of India's northeastern states that border Myanmar. FMR allowed members of hill tribes living along the Indo-Myanmar border to travel 16 kilometers into the other country without a visa. However, recent ethnic violence in Manipur in between the Meiteis and the Kuki-Jo tribe has raised concerns about the exploitation of this regime by the band outfits in Myanmar. In light of these security concerns, Union Home Minister Amit Shah declared the scrapping of the free movement regime between India and Myanmar. Announcement came on February 18, underlining the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment to fortify the nation's border. The move is a part of broader effort to secure the border, which includes a plan to fence the entire 1643-kilometer border in Myanmar and build a patrolling track next to the barrier. Now, speaking about the states who shares the border with Myanmar, people in the region have strong ethnic and familial ties across the border. In Manipur's More region, there are villages wherein the fencing is just steps away from the Myanmar border. While in Nagaland Mons district, the border actually passes through the house of the chief of Longbo village, splitting his two. For the viewers, one must know the Longbo village has a total population of 6,703 people, which is a part of 44 AC Phomsing constituency under the Mons district, Indian side, and the Yoshin Lahe township constituency on the Myanmar side. It is to be mentioned here that the Nagaland government have announced three districts along the Myanmar border as threat centers. So we'll be scrapping the FMR will impact the state economy. The discussion will delve deeper into the current state of affairs at the Indo-Myanmar border and its implication on the free movement of people. Joining us in the discussion is our esteemed guest, Nalin Kohli, BJP spokesperson and in charge of Nagaland State. We will join us later. Nyamto Wangsa, retired principal and social worker from the Longwa, which is bordering the Myanmar. Joel Naga, who is the president of Right People Party, Nagaland. David Bhaipe, who is an advocate from the More. Opening remarks from all of you, one by one. Start with Joel.
Thank you, madam, for this platform. First of all, I would like to say that the statement of the Honorable Minister, Home Minister, in fact, Amit Shah, stating that FMR is going to be scrapped because the government of India wants to maintain democratic structure is absolutely ridiculous, because there's no question of maintaining democratic structure in the border areas when the fencing or the scrapping of FMR is going to divide peoples across the borders, peoples who have been living together since time immemorial. Now, the scrapping of the FMR will not only divide the peoples, but will impoverish the region. So why I'm saying this? As far as the Nagaland border is concerned, or the Nagaland state is concerned, our peoples are living across the border. Tribesmen, clansmen will be divided because of the fencing, and there will be no economic activity possible because of the fencing. Now, Sir Nyamto is here. He will be in a better position to explain. But I just want to highlight that the Konyak tribes are going to be severely affected. The Kemungans are going to be severely affected. The Yumchungers are going to be affected. People in Meluri district are going to be severely affected. Now we have to understand that Nagaland is an impoverished state, a backward state by and large. Now the people living along the border, their tribesmen are living across the border. That I've already stated. And
Mhm.
If we talk about the Konyaks, they have the lands, their grazing fields, their grazing lands, their fields across the border. Likewise, the Kumungans, and likewise with the Yungchungers and other tribes in the Meluri subdivision, which is towards the south of Nagaland border, southeast, southwest, southeast of Nagaland border.
Mhm.
Now, what I'm trying to say is, since time immemorial, an informal sort of trade has been going on. Now the Burmese Nagas, they come over to Nagaland side looking for essential commodities. Now the
Mhm.
Nagas living in Burma, they are the most backward lot. I repeat, the most backward lot.
Mhm.
Bunda has never been able to control these areas in totality. Not since the British days, not since the days of the kings of Ava. And these Naga areas in Burma and the Chin area, of course, the Chin Hills, all these areas were, labeled as the frontier of the independent tribes. They were labeled as independent tribes because the king of Ava had absolutely no control over these areas. And the same
Mhm.
goes with the Nagas in Nagaland, this side of the border. As you're well aware, the Nagas in Nagaland, especially the eastern Nagas, they were known as the free Nagas. Even the British could not administer them, and they were left to themselves. And as per the 1935 uh, Act of India, these areas were known as excluded areas. So
Mhm.
the Burmese Nagas, they are coming over, they are getting salt, they are getting rice, they are getting essential commodities from our side of the border, and we are getting cheap Burmese goods, in terms of essential commodities and other paraphernalia from the Burmese side. And again,
Okay.
our economic activity is going to be restricted. Our lands are
Mhm.
going that side. Even
Mhm.
the chief of Pangsha has stated that 5,000 acres, hectares of their
Mhm.
land in Burma is going to be affected. Their paddy
Okay.
field. So obviously, when India talks about Aegis policy, this is complete negation of the Aegis policy. Number one, we are talking not only about economic activity, we are
Mhm.
talking about the social life of the Naga people, which is going to be severely affected. This is this so-called international boundary has not been recognized by the Naga people nor by the Chin Kuki people, and therefore this is completely unacceptable, the scrapping of FMR, and we Nagas will oppose this in totality.
Okay. So coming to More, because this has come after the Manipur violence only. So what is the reaction, David? Opening remark only. We'll come to the discussions and debate later.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. Uh, Um, Frida, ma'am, thank you for having me. And this is a good opportunity, platform, I think. Let me just uh, give one or two statements to open this discussion. I think this is a very unfortunate, ill-advised, and illogical, and probably a historical blunder move made by the BJP government. Like my good friend has already elaborated quite well
Hmm.
uh, before me, but I think that is the this is why, how, on whose advice, what kind of ill advice, illogical advice, based on what kind of data, based on what kind of inputs is this MHA is trying to adventure on this path. Like I
Hmm.
said, I think this is one of a very historical blunder going to be made by the BJP government.
Okay. So you said it's a historical blunder by the BJP government. We'll come to that. So, okay. Nyamtu Wangsu, sir, as you are staying at the periphery, right? It's like you are most near the Myanmar border. As a resident of from near the border, please share your reactions. The first opening remark regarding this
Uh,
scrapping of FMR.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all of you. And I'm happy to just share this evening with all of you here. I'm just 1 hour away from Lungwa, just nearby. And what I wanted to say is, it is FMR is not possible at all, especially for Konyak tribe, because this Longwa under Longwa Ang, there are so many villages in Myanmar, and we have intermarriages, and also we have even our kitties, our fields are that side. So everything is that side. Half of the relatives kins are that side, and half is in India, and especially in Longwa again, it's the half of the village is just divided into Myanmar half and half in India. So we have been just living that way time immemorial. And what I have to say is, it was, if I have not mistaken, it was in 1970-71. This pillar was, erected, and that time Mr. Chingwang, our advisor to CM, Chingwang was the Tuintang Affair Minister, and Hokeshi Sema, he was the Chief Minister, and Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. During their time, this Myanmar and India, Myanmar President and India Prime Minister, they had a kind of bilateral talk between them about this issue. And after that, 16-kilometer was relaxed for both sides. But now, our present government, I don't want to criticize the government, but the present government is just trying to, put the fencing in the border. So I don't think it will be good for the people also. And people will react. Definitely, they will react to that. And we have been defending our land, and the same reaction will come. And what I have to say is, our our BJP government, if they wanted to do anything, they should come and verify the spot. The reality they should first see, and after that decide. Not straight away from Delhi. They cannot just control us with the remote control. They should come and see the people. The position of the people, how people are living in this part of land. That's what I want to express from my side.
So, okay, so you were saying that because of the demography, as you are sharing the border with the Myanmar, and also the people, your fields, farming fields, and all those people, and your relatives are also there in Myanmar. So, do you think that will it affect that the Treaty of Friendship, Indo-Myanmar Friendship, was done back then in 1951, after the visit of the Rajiv Gandhi in 1987, and laid that foundation for a stronger relationship? So what do you think, and how it will impact the present government, the very important policy which is called Act East policy, how it will impact the Act East policy?
If it is implemented, means it's just opposite of this, Act East policy. The thing which they have already just declared to the people here, that Act East policy, Look East policy, all this kind of thing, it cannot work out. And people are here just because, I'm just telling you, our people are here. Before we were headhunters. And just because of, the modern civilization, also because of the Christianity, we just give up our doubts and gun. People are so furious, headhunters here. But today, it's just people are educated, and it is no more. But when we do all this kind of thing, it will go back to the olden times again. Headhunting will start. Fighting will start. That's what. Because people are here, once they start, means it will be, we cannot control.
Sir, I will just stop you because Nalin Kohli sir has joined just for a minute. Between his quote. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Sir, MHA has decided to scrap the free movement along the Indo-Myanmar border. Is it good and bad? Because you are also the in charge of Nagaland. The Nagaland people are here. They are saying it will impact people of Nagaland. What is your reaction on this?
Look, we all ultimately, in a nation that runs on the constitution, are entitled to have different points of view. That's what Article 19 of the Constitution of India does. Freedom of expression and speech, and therefore, in a democracy that runs on a constitutional democracy in that sense, everyone has a point of view, and that is something to be respected. With regard to the decision itself, please bear in mind that the sovereignty and security with countries that border India, that is always of paramount importance. Once the Honorable Home Minister of India, Mr. Amit Shah, has formally put out that decision that there is going to be fencing of the border, and we have noted in the last several months particularly, there have been a lot of issues related to what's happening from the border in terms of people coming in terms of soldiers also have come in, etc., etc. I'm not getting down into the illegal smuggling or the drugs trade on which there's a crackdown, but beyond all the merits, once a decision has been taken, a decision is always taken after looking at all the aspects. It is never a knee-jerk reaction. It is after looking at the inputs that have come in from a considerable period of time, and only in the interest of the nation. So I think that's what is there with regards to the decision.
Okay. So do you think that this decision has come up after what has happening in Manipur? Because lots of allegations are there that the militants who are underground are taking advantage of this free movement thing, especially here in the alongside of the Manipur and the More and the Surachandpur.
Possibly, I don't know, because I'm not part of the government in that sense. And I cannot comment in totality because I don't have access to the files. But having worked in the government at one point of time, and as a practicing advocate who deals with files on a regular basis, I can tell you with a sense of confidence that a lot of different inputs would have come in from agencies, from organizations, from governments. It's but obvious that different views and inputs would have come. And when the government of India takes a decision, it's always a structured decision after looking at the entire pros and cons of an issue.
Okay, will it impact the Act East policy, because it is your government, BJP's government only, who is talking most about the Act East policy? It has started with Lucas and now is on acting on East policy, Act East policy. How will it impact the Act East policy? Do you think it will get impact?
So let me give a counter argument and then come to the Act East policy.
Question. Yeah. So one more question, because we have Nyamtu Wangsu sir. He is from the Konya community. He said that it is not possible for the Konya community because their relatives are in the Myanmar, and they are even their farming fields are in Myanmar. So is it not a concern? And in the long way, you are the Nagaland.
I will not comment on the second part. I've heard you. So I've heard you. So I've heard what you have pointed out. I will not get into a debate of that because the details of what is to happen after the movement is scrapped, what is to be the modality, this is how it is, this is how it won't happen. We must wait for a more structured response when it comes with regard to specific details. And if there are any concerns, those concerns, obviously, if they are addressed through what comes out subsequently, there won't be any cause of any concern or worry. Let me come back to now the Act East policy. I think the Act East policy is a success of Prime Minister Modi's government. Earlier it was Look East. In Act East, what has happened? The focus of development has come to the Northeast in a huge way as never before. Prime Minister Modi has visited the Northeast over 60 times. I'm sorry, I stand corrected, close to 100 times, I believe. Ministers have come and spent, including night halls, and looked at projects. Over 400 such visits by ministers over the last 10 years. In terms of infrastructure, what was earlier just about 1 lakh odd crores, in terms of infrastructure investments have been 7 lakh crores. Nagaland got its its railway station after a gap of 100 years. I mean, should that be the pace of development? National highways have increased, airports have increased, air connectivity has increased, internet has increased. So, I mean, today there's a lot of progress. The Northeast is as a positive focus, and that benefit goes to the people of Northeast. So that's with the Act East policy. With regard to cross-border, movement, whether it is to be roads to or a regime to have in the future highways across Myanmar to Southeast Asia, etc. We must also bear in mind that the situation in Myanmar may have been a factor that, or a very important factor in terms of the fencing and in terms of the decision of the government.
But sir, Prime Minister Modi has not visited Manipur yet.
You're
Despite all the
digressing and
activities,
going back. No, I'm sorry to say.
I will not
I'm
disagree
sorry
with
to
the
say.
fact that
No, no,
he
but
looks
I'll
for the
answer.
northeast.
No,
Yeah.
I'll answer that. I'll answer that. That is broadly a way of looking at it and trying to give a political color to a prime minister whose heart and soul is in serving the people of India and particularly the Northeast too. With regard to those who are raising this question in the political sphere, they need to answer at their own role, at what they have done in contributing to the situation there over the decades and more recently, before they have any ground or any basis on which they can ask questions to be answered from others.
Okay, will this action will impact the India and Myanmar's Treaty of Friendship of
I can't.
1951?
Again, as I told you in the beginning, Afrida, Government of India's decision on any matter would be based on a totality of examining all the issues concerned. Or it is but obvious that the Ministry of External Affairs and its inputs would be there in something, but the security, if that's one of the primary reasons, cannot be put subservient to any cause, because at the end of the day, what matters ultimately, a nation is defined by its boundaries and the people who live within that.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for joining
Thank
us.
you so much, and good wishes to all my, brothers and friends from Nagaland. I'm sure they will continue the discussion with you. Thank you, Afrida.
Thank you. So, yeah, coming back to Nyatu sir, what is your reaction? Because as you know, he has said that integrity along the border is more important, the security is more important. So, what is your reaction on it? I will come back to David as well.
See, in the border area, what I'm saying is we have even the BSF, Border Security Force, Army is on the line, but why they cannot just protect that, instead of making fencing, and villagers are coming from that side, and we are also they are coming for shopping here in Mon, and Myanmar people are coming, our relatives are coming, and we also go that side to visit them. And we have also, as I said already, we have our Jumland that side, and we also go to Kitty for farming that side. And for your information, I'm telling you, we have also Tangyan family here. And long time back, when we were fighting with each other that time, we have reached up to Khamti. The Konyak territory means we have captured up to Khamti by the Longwa, the Konyak. So they used to give, pon. Pon means they used to give tax still to Longwa. He used to give. And also they used to give chai. We call it chai. That is also a citizen tax from the Burma side. They are all Konyak village. So in this connection, I don't think it will work out successfully. And people.
And if it happens also, what will happen to the Longwa's village? Because especially the concern is because the Longwa is a village where people are sharing not only the borders of their houses as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Longwa Ang has already written in the paper also, you might have seen that one, about the problem, pros and cons of this situation now. So Longwa village will be, I don't know, I cannot just imagine how it will happen if it thinks just go ahead with this. And I see that I just don't see any positive thing in this FMR.
But don't you think, sir, because you are from Nagaland, as David is also there, so there is an allegation. Don't you think that the government has come up to this decision because in certain points, because of this Manipur violence, don't you think that underground militants are taking advantage of this porous border, not only in Manipur, but also in Nagaland as well?
I don't think so, because Myanmar situation and this Nagaland situation is quite different. because
Yeah.
Myanmar side is different. Because the cookies are there in Myanmar. This are no in Imphal, Manipur, and cookies also they have their own people in Myanmar. So the, that militant thing is not at all just correct here, because we have our militant underground, but they are no more active. They are just peacefully staying this side. But just like bringing up guns or this and that is already stopped here. Only the public now.
So you are saying that all NSCN and all your brothers are here in Nagaland only, not in
Yes,
Myanmar
they are
anymore.
here.
Yeah.
Myanmar maybe one or two, but they are also just coming here because their relative parents are here, so they come and stay here with us. But it is all the people politicize things. People politicize. Maybe it may not be that serious, but sometimes they will just decorate things and present in media. Then that is the
Okay.
problem.
Yeah. Okay. David want to say something. Then I will come back to Joel. David,
Yeah, sure.
go ahead.
Uh-huh. Afrida, see, that's what exactly what I was trying to say. In fact, even the senior advocate, Kohli sir, he mentioned that the government must have taken so many inputs. Exactly, the government must and should have taken so many inputs. But to me, actually, right now, it is only the political inputs that they are making or giving more importance, because other inputs, I'm here, right here, actually I'm right here, and whatever allegations has been made, actually I'm in the field, I know what exactly it is. So just like my brother here just said, it is all wrong. This
So
illegal
you are saying
immigration
that
thing,
no,
whatnot,
no, there
whatnot,
are
these are all fake propaganda.
David. So see, I have covered Manipur. Okay, I
Uh-huh.
have covered Manipur, and there are lots of allegations because of the Myanmar conflict as well. There are few, many
Mm-hmm.
soldiers have come from the Myanmar seeking refuge in Manipur's More and even in Mizoram, and also there are certain groups which are taking advantage and involved in this whole violence which is ongoing, which is going on in Manipur, and there are allegations, further allegations that militants are taking advantage and supplying weapons openly, and it is happening because of the porous border. Don't you
That is
think
what
that is?
that is an allegation. That is a false allegation. That's what I'm trying to say. That is a politically biased false allegation. The Myanmar people, they have their own enough troubles in their own country. Why would they come to Manipur and involve in the situations right now? That is, it's a common sense for me actually. They have their platefuls in Myanmar. They are fighting for democracy. They are fighting against the junta forces. They are fighting for peace in Myanmar. Why would they come to Manipur to fight for the cookies? What is this logic actually? There is no logic. That's what I'm saying. It is that's what in my first statement I said, this is going to be a very historical political blunder that the BJP government is doing, because all the data, all the inputs, uh, I know that there are intelligent inputs, maybe political inputs, all these things.
So where are the weapons
They
coming
they should
from
they
then?
should be making these steps taking
David,
this step
where are the
wisely.
weapons coming from then?
This is the question. This is the question. This is the question. Whose inputs are they taking and making these steps?
No, I
That
am
is the
asking.
reason why I said they are on the verge of making a historical blunder.
So Manipuri people, be it a Meitei or the Kuki, they have enough weapons in this whole violence. So there are allegations that the supply is from the Myanmar. It is. I'm not saying ki it's only Kuki. I'm saying both the groups are getting weapons from the Myanmar. So who is supplying you the weapons then?
Let,
So
let,
is it
let, let
because of the
okay.
porous border
Let
alongside
us just
every
say that okay. Let us
violence
just say that
zone?
you have a fencing. Let us just assume that you have a fencing. You have a fencing. You have a fencing. If the situation arises, don't you think that those things can't happen? No. what is most important, even the Prime Minister, wherever he goes, he said, Vasudhavya Kutumbakam, one world, one family. Where is one world, one family right now?
Okay. So no. My whole thing is ki, what is the situation? I will come to Joel, then again come back to you, David. Okay, Joel, can you just tell
Yes,
me?
yes.
Don't you think the underground militants, whichever group it is, whoever, so is taking advantage of this porous borders, and that's why this decision has been taken by center to fence the border.
Now, I would like to put it this way. The central's decision to fence the border is nothing but the input of the Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh. He has been unable to control the situation in Manipur because of his communal policies. And the government of India is not talking about the 6,000 arms looted from the armory of the Manipur police commandos. And now they are blaming illegal immigration and arms flow from Burma to scrap the FMR. So is it a logical thing to say? Why isn't the Indian government questioning Biren Singh and his government? As far as the Nagaland is concerned, and Manipur and of course Mizoram is concerned, why should we suffer because of Biren Singh? See, the thing is, we are talking about militancy, okay? But as far as Nagaland is concerned, there has been no illegal immigration from Burma as such, because no Naga will leave his land in Burma and come over to Nagaland for his livelihood. That's number one. Number two, in Myanmar, they have their own militant group called YA, Kaplang. So they are fighting, they are against the military junta. And secondly, in Nagaland, there are more than 20 factions. They have their own arms and ammunitions, no doubt, but they're in ceasefire with the government of India. So when we talk about import of arms and ammunitions, why are we only stressing on the Burmese border? Chittagong port in Bangladesh is the largest market for arms in Northeast India. All the militant groups, especially the Naga groups, they used to get their arms supplies from Chittagong. So those are the facts of the matter. Now, as far as the Mizoram is concerned, there are refugees in Mizoram, yes, but these refugees will go back once the problem in Myanmar is solved. So there's a distinction between refugees and illegal immigration. Now, as far as Manipur is concerned, Biren Singh is blaming illegal immigration for Manipur for a problem in Manipur. As I've stated, is because of his communal policies. Now, the logical thing for Biren Singh and his government to do is to blame illegal immigration. He will never blame himself, but he will blame the Kuki-Zo people for all the troubles in Manipur. Trouble which started because of his communal policies, and because of him, the whole of North is going to suffer. This is totally unacceptable. Now,
go ahead.
So as far as the problem in Manipur is concerned, it's not that there were no. You must remember that the Manipur government had undertaken suspension of operation with the Kuki militant groups, and now, so your next logical question would be: so how did these Kuki militant groups arm themselves? It can be from Chittagong, yes. It can be from Burma, yes, no doubt. But do you think fencing the border is a solution? No. Now, when you try to fence the border, you are going against the sentiments of the people, the indigenous people of the Northeast, the hill states of the Northeast. We have our strong ties with the people with our land. For us, land is paramount, and our kings and kinsmen, they are paramount. Just because Biren Singh, has floated his policies doesn't mean that the government of India has to take his argument. No. Now, what will happen is there's already a fragile peace in the Northeast. In fact, it's a negative peace. Once this fencing comes up, I'm telling you, Afrida, ma'am, I'm telling you, there will be no more peace in the Northeast. Now, if the government of India thinks that Manipur is a headache, you will find more headaches in Nagaland and Mizoram. And
Why?
this will...
Why? Can you just explain it to viewers why? Why you think so? How peace will be affected in Nagaland and
Peace will
Mizoram
be
and other
affected.
states?
Imagine this situation where Sir Nyamto has already explained that half of the village lies in Burma, half the village lies in Nagaland. Now, if you put a fencing through Longwa village, do you think the people will keep quiet? He has already stated that the people want peace, the people want development. Nalin Kohli has already stated that there has been so much development in Northeast because of Narendra Modi's policy. Yes, we totally agree with that. And we appreciate the central government for what it has done for Northeast. But this would be the last straw in the sense, if a fencing goes through Longwa, do you think that people will keep quiet? They will take up arms, they will take up spears, or even primitive armaments, and they will rise up they will rise up and there will be violence. There's no doubt about that. And it's not only Longwa we are talking about. We are talking about the whole stretch of Nagaland border and the whole stretch of Mizoram border, and in fact Manipur. So the people will not keep quiet. Northeast has a tradition, in the sense, the Northeast, the areas of the Northeast, or the Northeast people, they have been fighting for greater autonomy, greater statehood, separate administration, or even outright independence since the 1940s and 50s. Now, when there's a semblance of peace, what the government of India needs to do is, make the peace permanent in the Northeast region, make it permanent by solving all the issues. But instead of bringing peace, permanent peace in the region, what they are contemplating will inflame the whole of Northeast.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think, David, that center has failed to resolve the Manipur crisis, and so MHA has decided to freeze FMR?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is what is a question that I keep on asking myself and keep on asking to others also. Will suspension of FMR bring peace in Manipur? No. What is FMR and what is peace? What is the relationship here? Let me just share. Actually, just give me some few minutes. I will share my own experience.
Yeah, go ahead.
As an advocate, actually, I stood for a couple of so-called Myanmar refugees who came due to the political situation. They were here for few weeks, few days, and then they were going to return back to their own villages. But before returning to their villages was burned down by the junta forces. So on humanitarian ground, they fled to our side, and on humanitarian ground, we provide them food and shelter. And those people illegal immigrants? What is the definition of illegal immigrants? कभी-कभी हमारा डिक्शनरी में पढ़ना चाहिए ना. What is illegal immigrants and what is a political refugee? What is the difference? Actually, luckily for me, my judge, the court has given me a very good judgment according to the United Nations laws. He said they can't be called illegal immigrants. They are a political refugee. So there was a very good experience and good judgment that the court gave it to me. So my point is, the situation, the crisis right now in Manipur will not be solved by taking away the FMR. There are other ways.
So you think that this scrapping of free movement will not help to bring peace in Manipur?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir. Nyamtu, sir. You want to add something on it? So for me, it's very important, and for our viewers also. Can you just explain? You said that as for the Longwa village, you have said that it's not possible to do for the Konyak tribe to accept this. Okay, so I just want to understand also, and for our viewers as well, that in general, can you just explain what exactly how FMR will affect the free movement and why it is important for the people staying in Nagaland and Manipur?
See, Manipur yardstick cannot bring to Nagaland. It's a different just issue. What I have to say for Manipur, I have already shared with some of our friends there that Kuki, Kuki and Meitei, they were just living together for such a long years. But how comes just this time suddenly it came up and so many incidents? What I feel is something fishy. Someone has burned little flame, and now the whole forest is burning and cannot just diminish the fire now. It's just, I feel personally, I'm very sorry to speak this one. It's just like playing divide and rule policy in our country, and it is very dangerous. We cannot change the history because of the new government or popular government. That's why our king Longwa Ang has written here. He has written, gee, they want to do something in Manipur, and the same yardstick is being applied to us, you see. But this, see, it cannot be. It cannot be. It can be there, but the physical fence should not come out. Virtual demarcation has to be there, but not this fencing. It is going to create another big issue, as Joel Naga has already shared.
So you were saying that physical fencing will not be accepted in Nagaland.
Yeah.
And the issue is different from Manipur to with the Nagaland.
Yes.
So
let me add up something regarding this Manipur. The cookies and the Meiteis, you should realize someone is playing music outside and they are dancing to that. That is a very, very sad. Someone is playing music from outside, and they are dancing to their music. So they should realize that this is wrong. They should stop both sides, forgive each other, and they should just make a peace agreement and declare to the world that we are one and nobody should disturb us. If they declare such thing, then something will come out.
Okay, so I will just come to the David. David, like in Longwa, the Konyak tribe will get affected, and one more tribe is there, as Joel has informed me. It was King. What is that tribe, Joel?
Kimungan.
Kimungwang. Yeah. So David, I just want to ask you one thing. That like in Longwa, it will get affected because people are not only sharing their houses, but their farming fields are there in both the countries, and they are sharing lots of taxes and all those things, right? So is there any village alongside in the Manipur's More which shares the same like Longwa? Is there houses are near the villages and it will directly affected the people of staying in the More? Is there any village like Longwa?
See, the topography, the historical background of these particular regions is almost all the same. Even in the beginning, you have mentioned More. In More, the small town, the fencing, the last fencing of the private property is just 1 meter or 2 meters away from the international, so-called international border. So there are so many villages where you just go a little bit farther, and then you will be going to technically another Myanmar country, another country. For example, I like to tell the story. See, when I was small in my village, from my village to come to the town, I can't come using the Indian roads. We have to go down to the Myanmar side, take the highway, and then come back again to come to my school. So that's how closely knit the society, the cultural, the structure of this particular area, of this particular part of the country is. And like I said, this uniqueness, this socio-political structure has to be respected.
Yeah.
Like I said again, FMR suspension of FMR is not going to bring peace in Manipur.
So no, I want to ask you one more thing. It will affect directly to the Nagaland. I can understand that. As the Nyampu sir has already said, the demography will get affected from the Manipur. So I want to just understand ki how it will impact the people of More. How it will impact if the border fencing is there? How it will impact on the people staying in Manipur, Manipur's More.
I think I have answered that in a little bit short sentence. Maybe,
No, no,
like
I
I said,
want to understand.
the uh,
Yeah.
there are some villages where you have a paddy field. I think a paddy field, it's a paddy field on the plain, not the hills. There's a paddy field running across the two countryside. So in order to go to your paddy field, you have to cross a particular imaginary line to go and plug the field. You have to come back and cross the imaginary line. Yes, like I said, they will be affected socially and economically as well.
Okay. So I will just I want to listen from Joel. So the closing remark. Joel, you were on mute.
Okay. The government of India needs to review its policy, excuse me, because this policy is ridiculous. Excuse me. It's a knee-jerk reaction to solving a problem. It negates the entire policy as formulated by the government of India in the sense the Aegis policy, which has been initiated by Sri Narendra Modi. This has been totally contradicted by the scrapping of the FMR, and it is dividing peoples. And just because there's no protest in Nagaland doesn't mean that Naga people will take things lying down. This is a volcano waiting to erupt. And the negative peace which is prevalent in the region will soon take the form of violence and uprising. Instead of trying to bring permanent peace in the region, the government of India, through its narrow policy, is trying to, wittingly or unwittingly, is trying to provoke the hill states of the Northeast. And as peace-loving citizens of this country, we are all for peace. But the government of India's policy does not leave any other option. This will lead to bloodshed and unrest in the region. While trying to solve the so-called problem in Manipur, as I've stated, a problem created by the BJP government, whether in the state of Manipur or whether by the central government, while trying to solve Manipur problem, their policy will end up affecting both Mizoram and Nagaland and parts of Arunachal Pradesh. And this will have severe repercussions. As it is, even the South Indian states, excuse me, as it is, even the South Indian states, they have don't forget that they have raised the banner of revolt. Some minister from Karnataka, he's already talking about South India being a separate country. Now, don't you think there will be a domino effect if there's no peace in the Northeast region? The South Indian states, they're already talking about, as I've stated, having a separate country. They are up in arms against the central government because their share of taxes has come down from 40% to 34%. And this will have a domino effect all over India. This effect will go to Punjab, this effect will go to Jammu and Kashmir, and the central government will find it very difficult to control the situation. It's better for the central government to listen to the people at a grassroots level than to listen to the Honorable Chief Minister of Manipur, Biren Singh. Thank you. Afrita, can't hear you.
Okay, sorry, I was unmute. Yeah. So
Yeah.
closing remark from David. How FMR will impact the Northeast and Manipur's Moray primarily.
See, Afrida ma'am, I think um, the two gentlemen with me has very elaborately has said. My only last word is that MHA or national security is above a political agenda. MHA needs to rethink from where they're taking those data, from where they're taking those inputs, and trying to make this historical blunder. Of course, this FMR suspension of FMR will be affecting even the cookies living in the border areas economically, socially, politically as well. But like I said, this is not a solution to stop the illegal immigrants or illegal immigrations. There are ample and so many ways to stop illegal immigrations. And people and those people who give illogical and wrong data should, I think, someday should read the dictionary properly. What is a illegal immigration, what is immigration, and what is a refugee? They should be reading the definition of those words. Then they should start giving inputs, and the MHA should be also taking true and factual inputs from the ground.
Okay. Last words from Nyamdu sir.
You see, what I have to say lastly, it is, government of India is doing the right thing in a wrong way. Government of India should study the ground realities and consider the aspiration of its citizen rather than diktats. Just directing will not bring any solution. You should come and see what's happening out here. See the realities.
Okay. So you are saying it will not help. So anyways,
Yeah.
it will be very interesting to see how FMR will impact the Northeast region, primarily Nagaland, how it will impact the people of Nagaland, especially residing in the Longwa village and other villages which are neighboring which are situated in the neighboring area. And also hope to see the peace in Manipur soon, following these steps and from MHA. And with this, I thank all the panelists for shedding light on this matter. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for it.